From your experience, what are some of the differences in the interviewing processes between a smaller and a larger company?
Well, I've been recruiting for a number of years, and I've had the luxury of working for some wonderful, very large companies, mid-sized companies, and now ISIS as a small company. There is definitely a difference. Larger companies have a very process-oriented type of arrangement as far as interviews are concerned, and maybe more rigid, where ISIS is very flexible. I mean, if it means that I have to meet someone at a Starbucks, in between, meeting schedule that they have or whatever it takes, a small company has that type of flexibility to do those kinds of things in the interview process. It's not as formal, but I think we make our applicants feel comfortable. We try to explain what our future growth plans are for the company and the direction we want to take the company, and hopefully they'll be interested in being a part of that growth.
What should a candidate know about looking to work for a smaller company versus working for a larger company?
Some of the concerns that people have working for a smaller company versus a larger company is they're always worried about job security. If they should lose coverage on a contract, what's going to happen to them? In my experience, I have found that a company like ISIS will do everything that they possibly can to find another opportunity for that employee, or to hopefully give them enough time to find a job with another organization if that should happen. Bigger companies don't always have that luxury. Sometimes it's very cut and dry. If you lose coverage, you may have 2 weeks. It just depends. Sometimes I have found larger companies that I've worked for don't necessarily have the time to really help an employee who has lost coverage and to find a job someplace else within the organization, because that particular recruiter is continuing to recruit for that particular vice president or business unit, and if there's not a fit for that candidate, then you're kind of off that recruiter's radar. And so sometimes it's more difficult to move around. I tell everyone that their security is based in their skill sets and in their security clearance, and that they carry their own bag of goodies with them wherever they go. And as long as you keep your security clearance active, they should never have a problem finding another job. And they shouldn't be so concerned about working for a smaller company that may not have the same breadth as some of the larger companies have.
When an employee starts working with a smaller company, what are some of the things they should consider during their first few days or few weeks at the new company?
Well, working for a smaller company, there's probably not going to be the orientation process that you would receive at a large company. Frequently what happens, the government wants someone to start right away. So the only contact you may have up front with a small company such as ISIS would be filling out your HR paperwork, and then you would report directly on the contract. We try to have leads on all the different contracts so that you have someone from ISIS that you can go directly to if you have any questions. We try to, through both phone and internet, make sure you understand how to do the time charging and any questions about benefits. We actually have a broker that works with us directly and sits down with every one of our candidates to talk about our whole benefit package, options, any additional benefits that they would like to get on their own, which I think is a really nice feature that we have. Sometimes you may be the only individual on a contract, which can be difficult at first, but that also opens up opportunities, because if you can help the company to grow on a contract, then you're going to be rewarded for that. You just have to remember that there's always someone out there just a phone call away. My company, I think, does something that's very nice, is we alternate from month to month, either have a breakfast or a lunch meeting where everyone who's available in the company comes and we have lunch, and so that gives us the opportunity to sit down and discuss future growth for the company, reminding everybody of the referral program, which is, we have a very healthy referral program and it's very generous. And also any problems or issues that they may be dealing with that might need to be answered. So we try our very best to stay in touch with our employees It's difficult for all companies because most people work on site.